Yeah, yeah. And they did what to Herschel? Ah, that reminds me. Here's a review of my Steinberger headless. Hey folks, it's Will here. I'm giving you today a review of my Sprit by Steinberger headless guitar. So it isn't one of the originals, okay, which was made out of carbon fibre, very light. This is their Chinese-made reproduction one. But I thought I'd do a review on this one, because obviously this one is a bit more readily available than the old ones. It comes with a clothing peg. No, it doesn't really. Okay, here it is white. I do like a nice white guitar. And that's where the headstock should be. Okay, so this thing is 30 inches in length, which is just over 76 millimeters. Okay, and the point of this review and other reviews I'm going to do from now on is to try and give you guys practical reviews. Okay, so not what it says on the box that this comes in, but to play it, to try it out. Some reviews you see, the guy gets, say, a guitar pedal, takes it out of the box, and then starts reading the paper in the box. That doesn't help inform you. That's why you're here. You're on YouTube. You're looking for information on these things, what they play like, what they sound like. So that's the point of this. So, obviously it's a headless guitar, and it's quite funky to have in a guitar collection. It's a little bit different. But I must say, I think these guitars are really good for the features that they have. Thank you, Flossie the cat, doing a bit of a bell intro for us there. And they're quite good ideas, really. If you go on YouTube, as you should be now, and if you search up Ned Steinberger, who designed this guitar, the reasons why we have like a square body, we're tuning down here, there isn't a headstock, there's some really good ideas they had for the guitar. Okay, but let me run you through some of the finer features. Here's the rundown. So obviously, because it's a headless guitar, it uses double ball end strings, which aren't always the easiest to come by in your local store, but quite readily available online. And I've had no trouble finding some decent strings for this guitar. Some of the cool things I think about this one, it's like practical things. So like you can adjust the truss rod quite easily at the top there. You've got no intrusion, don't have to slack off strings or remove a scratch plate. It's all there ready to go. Okay, you've got this nice little flap here, where if you're sitting down, you pull that bad boy out, and then it sits nicely on your leg. Okay. Down at the business end. So we've got quite standard controls there. So we've got neck pickup, middle pickup, bridge pickup, like a sort of super strat kind of configuration. 5-way switch to control those, volume and tone. You know what those are all about, obviously. Okay, and then we've got our tuners at the bottom of the guitar, okay, which aren't too bad. I mean, these can get a bit stiff in the cold weather. I think the cool thing here, you might not be able to see so well, is this little lever here. Now I'm not going to move it, but at the minute it gives me the option to lock the bridge down, and if I flick that lever out, it means it can be floating, so you can use the tremolo arm with it. For the way I prefer to play, I don't tend to use tremolos, but that's, you know, really handy feature to have. And if you're in a gig situation and you're using the trem, that's right. String breaks is going to throw the tuning out. You can just lock it up. Okay, flick of that lever, locks in. You can finish your set or your song, put another string on. And again, if you check out some of the Steinberg videos on YouTube, there's a video with him demonstrating the guitar. You can see how quickly you can end up changing a string using this double ball end system. Okay, so apart from that, it's all pretty much standard. The pickups they've got here, their own branded Steinberger ones, and they're just passive, so I'm not running anything active here. But we'll give it a quick play, see what it sounds like. This version of the Steinberger is made out of maple wood, so not the carbon fibre that the originals were. So obviously it adds a bit of that wood weight to it. In terms of how it sounds, it sounds quite bright, but then there's a big debate about tone wood. You've got to think, obviously, that plays a part, but then the shape does as well, you know. There isn't as much wood as on a Flying V or a Strat or anything like that. Okay. So I'll just say, yeah, there's a little bit of weight on the leg, but nothing too major. Okay. On this one, my D string's a little bit out of tune. And so obviously, if we need to tune up, we need to use the correct barrel. Tune up there. There we go. So it can be a bit fiddly sometimes to try and move it. As I say, It's early January at the minute, so the weather's a bit cold outside and these are a bit stiff to move. Okay, but I suppose the good thing is to think when it's in tune it pretty much stays there because it's so stiff. Okay, so here's some clean sounds from my orange micro picks, and here is a neck pickup. Neck and middle. That neck sounds good. Okay, middle. Middle and bridge. Bridge. So it's only getting some good bite from the bridge pickup there. We're set quite clean. We're not into an overdrive setting on the amp. Let's try out this clean sound. And some distortion. So there's my review of the Sprit by Steinberger headless guitar. 24 frets on that one, by the way. My guitar is HSS, because that's the configuration I fancied. You can get it as a HSH as well, with a humbucker in the neck instead. I quite like the flexibility there. Depends on which sound you've got. Sometimes you can't always pick out a separation in the sound. But it depends which sound you're going to use the most. You could always upgrade the pickups in it, because obviously they're just a standard pickup that comes with the guitar. I don't think they're too bad actually, but you could always go full on Steinberger and get some EMGs in there, or just some other better pickups, really what you fancy, the sound you want to make. Because again, with the review, I've just had it through a little small 3-watt orange amp, you know, which sounds great, but there's no point. I could put it through the poshest amp in the land, mic that cabinet, you know, put it all through Pro Tools, make it sound all pro-y. But there's no point, because it's always going to sound different. I mean, I watch YouTube through my iPhone, so you're never going to get the best bass response through that, are you? Or laptop speakers, all this modern technology. So I just want to give you guys a rough idea of what it sounds like, what it feels like. Can you use it, okay? Is it usable? I've used that for a gig in an 80s tribute band, and it was really good actually. I was very impressed by it. I thought, you know, it was just going to sound pants. It was cool for using at home and in the studio and stuff, but I really did well on the gig. I think the plus points about the guitar are that it is small. You could put it into an overhead locker on an aeroplane if you're going to fly to do a gig, and you're doing that enough. That's a really good feature, because it saves putting a guitar on the hold or renting a guitar wherever your gig is. At least you can feel something familiar when you're playing. And getting the compactness of the guitar takes a bit getting used to, but it's all quite good, you know, to think everything's at your fingertips. You don't have to reach around or have a massive guitar to get the sounds that you may want. I think one of the drawbacks though is not having a headstock, because when I play, I tend to imagine there's one on there. I don't mean to, but I kind of expect to see a headstock, and so end up with the first 3 frets of my imaginary headstock, and then the rest of the guitar carries on. So I've been trying to play in the key of A, but I've actually ended up in the key of B. I've shifted 2 frets up because I've created an imaginary headstock. I need problems. I've got problems, I need help. But anywho, so I hope that works out for you folks, and it gives you an idea of what the guitar sounds like and what it is to live with. Let me know what you think. If you've got any more videos you'd like me to do, or any other instruments, amps, pedals that you like, or lessons, let me know. Please subscribe, because it makes me feel wanted. Okay? Catch you later. Live long and prosper. West Side.